Hey everyone. So my question on the Facebook group caused quite a buzz. So I just wanted to pop on and do a quick tutorial, which I've never done before. So I hope it goes okay. Also, before I get going, I just wanted to let you know I am in the basement. This is an egress window. I can see a plant or something like blowing in the wind up there. It's pretty windy in Wisconsin today. Um, but also, if my dogs are outside, you might see their head pop over the little wall to peek on me and see what I'm doing. They like to watch me when they're out there. So, all right. So, washi tape tumblers. Um, Here is my collection of washi tape. Come a little closer. Um, that's pretty much all of it. There's some on the table here that I've pulled out already for the cup I'm going to do today. This is one of the cups that I've already done. This is already epoxied, as you can see. I apologize if it's backwards. I'm using my Mac photo booth, and I don't know if it's backwards or not. It looks like it on my screen. But anyway, so here's the tape, and I know somebody was asking for the seam. It's actually really hard to find the seam. Here it is. You can see it. It's very much more noticeable on the one with the words. But the other one, I mean, you can see that there's a difference in the pattern, but it really is pretty tricky to find. And I just epoxied right over this. I didn't seal this, but this is not glitter. This was like a foil kind of, like there's some foil look on there, but it wasn't glittery. I know some of the other people in the group were mentioning that when they did glitter ones that they sealed them. So this is the one that I did last night. Oh, that's really hard to see in this light. But first, coffee, rise and grind. So some of you were asking like about the wrinkles, and you can see that there are some right there. But if I press down really hard, it kind of comes up. And then once the epoxy goes on, you really don't notice it because it was doing that on this one too. So I mean, you can see a little bit of the wrinkles right there, but it's really not very noticeable. I mean, from when you're looking at it like this, you hardly see it at all. This actually matches me today. So this one has glitter, and so thanks to our cohorts in the group, I am going to go ahead and seal this one before I do epoxy on it. But you can see, and then here's the seams. I think this is the seams right here. So you can see, again, where it's more of a pattern, it's harder to notice. But where there's words, obviously, you're going to notice them. Now, this cup and this cup both have a taper, so they get narrower at the bottom. So that's where you're going to run into some tricky spots with the tape laying flat. If it's really tapered, you could just not. This is a cup that I had stripped down, so I'm going to refinish it with some additional decals. But this is actually a duct tape washi tape, not really washi tape. It's like just a decorative duct tape. And then I bought this Cricut vinyl, removable vinyl, but I'll put it on the cup and it'll stay, obviously. But I was going to make a Mama Bear cup for myself because that's actually what was on here that I bought from someone else as a fundraiser, and it just kind of scratched off. So I'm going to refinish it, and I threw this tape on here. I'll just kind of spray it a little bit and then use this. So that's another option if you're a little nervous about doing the top to bottom washi tape, is just to do like a little accent through the middle or on the top and the bottom. This one is very similar to the other ones that I used. I think I got these at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something. This one would work really well. It does have a taper, but it's a slight taper. What you do need to be careful for are like these. These are straight up and down, but this one is from Walmart and it has Built. So like the Built brand or the Ozark Trails. I don't remember. I think Yeti is just like a foil on the cup. But if it has something like this, it's not going to lay nicely here. So you either have to stop here and maybe do some other finish on it or just not use this cup. Today I'm going to actually use the 20 ounce skinny tumbler from Hog from Stainless Depot. And so here's my cup. I don't prep it beforehand. I don't sand it. Maybe I should. Leave me a message if I should. I don't with this, and I haven't had problems. And then I'll go ahead and get started. Let me just move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay. Oh, some of you were asking too where you can get the washi tape. So I just got this actually at Michael's. There were like 4 tubes that I picked up. They were on clearance. So they were on an end cap, and it was a big stack, and they all coordinate really well. Some of them were things like dates and more for like a planner, more for, like if you're using them in your planner. So I probably won't use those, but out of the, I don't remember how many were in here. I can't see because the tape is over, or the sticker's over it, but I think there were probably like 6 in here, and out of the 6, only maybe 1 or 2 of them were ones that I wouldn't use, and for $5.97, it was totally worth it. Also, there were people asking about the coffee tape, and this is the brand that it is. It was on an end cap at Michael's. So they had a whole end cap by like the scrapbook stickers, and that was all these cute little guys on there. So there were 4 rolls of tape in that one. All right, so on my cup today, I'm going to use, I selected this really cool like metallic foil with like dots on it. It's really kind of cool. And then I have this tape that says Shine Bright. This is not a foil. This is like more of the paper tape. I have this one, which is, it does have a foil on it as well. Really pretty with like the teal and the purple. And then the other one that I have is this one, and it's really, really, really narrow and thin. But I tried to pick out different sizes so that you could see how I work them differently. So depending on the design, like on this one, I started in the middle because I wanted this saying to be in the middle. On this one, I just started at the bottom or the top and worked my way. No, I think I started at the bottom because this one had one of these things at the bottom. And so I used that as my guide to start. So I got a nice straight line to start. So it really just depends on what you want to do. So I'm going to put the computer down a little bit here, and then you can kind of watch what I'm doing. So let's see if I can turn this way. Okay. So I'm trying to think. I think I want the Shine Bright to be in the middle. So I think I'm going to try to figure out from there what I want. And I really just eyeball it. The stuff is really forgiving. As you can see, it just kind of goes on and comes off, which is a plus and a minus, because if you don't get it down tight, it will kind of lift off. But as you can see, I'm just going around and oops, you can kind of see that. Takes a little bit to get the first one, and then once you get the first one, it's not as tricky anymore. Like I said, it's easier if you start at the top or the bottom, but I wanted this smack dab in the middle, so of course I'm showing you the tricky way first. Way to go, Angie. Okay, so I am just going to cut it here. Now, again, where there's going to be a seam with words, it's much more noticeable. But I like there to be at least one little message on my cups every day. Okay, so there's the first one. I think that's straight. It looks pretty straight. And then from there, you just kind of decide what you want next. So I think because the message is shine bright, I'm going to start with this metallic foil above and below it and just kind of go from there. If you have one of those fancy cup holder things for applying decals, it might help. Otherwise, I usually just lay it in my lap, but I'm not going to put the camera down in my lap. So again, you can kind of just see I'm just keeping it in line. And it actually, I mean, you can see I'm going pretty quickly. It goes pretty quickly once you get that first one down. I can tell it's not 100% straight, but I'm just trying to show you so that you can get an idea here. See, so with this one, it's really tricky. Other than a slight overlap there, it's really tricky to even see where the seam is. Obviously with the shine bright, that's where it's trickier. Okay, and so it just keeps going up and down. Like I said, I think I'm going to do this one here too. Gosh, this is really pretty. This one I think I got at Hobby Lobby. This was in a single little roll all by itself. It's from Art Minds, and I'm pretty sure that's a Hobby Lobby brand. It's a little bit of a different stick too. It's not quite, I mean, you can hear it. It sounds different even when I'm realigning it. Okay, so there's another one. And then I think I'll go with this little guy. This is really small. So now the thing is with this stuff, it is very pliable, but it's also pretty breakable. So if you pull too hard, especially on these little narrow baby guys, they do rip easily. But like I said, if you make a mistake, it is super easy to pull off and fix. You just don't want to have to waste your tape or your money. Okay, so there's that one. So you can see, I mean, I love my epoxy glitter cups and I love my vinyl cups, but this is going so quickly and so easily, really. I mean, so let me do another one here. And then I did want to show you on the tapered cup too, because some of you were asking about doing it on a tapered cup. And what do I do? See, I can't even find the seam. Here we go. What I do to get it to lay flat. So I will show you that in just a second. I just kind of want to get this one going so you can see the effect. Like I said, most of the washi tapes actually come in packs, so they're already pretty much coordinated for you color-wise, which is really cool. These did not come in a pack together, actually. I just kind of picked them out because, like I said, I was really trying to find different sizes to help people with the questions that they were asking. The skinnier tape is going to be much easier to lie down on, like on this one. The skinny little hearts on the top and on the bottom were a lot easier. There weren't as many chances for it to buckle because you know, it didn't taper down a whole lot. So there's that. It looks I love that. I'm totally going to continue this. But I'll do it off camera so that I can show you some other stuff. I didn't use this one, but that is going to be the one that I run here. So let me move that aside. So if I were going to do it on this cup here, I would need to, I think I'm going to start at the bottom actually, because especially when it tapers, it's kind of tricky. So I'm going to start down here. And then using this line here really helps to be able to kind of keep it straight. So don't eyeball it if you have something like this. So as you can see, or maybe you can't, let me see if I can get this. Sorry, I thought I was on my touch screen, but I'm not. So you can see there's like a little spot there where it doesn't lay down nice and flat, but I just pressed it down. And as I press down, it stays down pretty well. It's just kind of like a decal. When you apply a vinyl decal on a tapered cup, it kind of is the same principle, basically. And then again, you can pick it up and realign it if needed. It's a funny sound. All right. So let me cut this off and then I'll show you. You can see here there's kind of a little bit of an overlap. Like you can see right here where it kind of comes up and above, but it really won't matter much because when I do the next piece of tape, I'll just kind of, it'll end up covering that piece up. But again, I'm just going around and just laying it flat, pressing down. Sometimes I use my fingernail just to make sure that it's nice and flat. Okay, and then I'll do the next one. So maybe I'll do this one next since I didn't get to this one. I want to see how this looks. All right, so again, I'm just going to line it up on top. And then it's just as simple as spinning it around the cup. Now again, here, let me show you. See, because it's the tapered cup, it does get these little wrinkles. But again, the washi tape is pretty, like I said, pliable. And so as long as you just kind of press down, it really stays down nicely. And like I said, I use my fingernail, or you could even use like your, this thing too, or you know, like if you have any of these little tools or a bone, what do you call those from when I used to do stamps? A bone folder or a bone whatever. You can use those. But you can see that this is much more tedious when you're doing it because it has the taper. So if you're looking for a first time of doing it, you might want to stick with the skinny, where it's the same at the top and at the bottom. This is doable, but it takes a little bit more patience and forgiveness for yourself and for the cup. But you know, you can get it down, and it does look okay, I promise, because after, like I said, this one had some wrinkles in there too. And I got most of them down, but some of them were still up. And so like right here, you can kind of see that there still were some wrinkles in there. But once it's nice and epoxied, there's no problem. So I hope that helps. And thanks for being patient with me on my first tutorial. So, oh, at the end, before the epoxy, like I said, some of the people on our group were saying that they, with the glitter tape, that the glitter sometimes tends to run the color, and I could totally see that happening. I haven't actually done a glitter tape cup yet. This is the first one, and so before I epoxy this, because I love this one so much, I will seal this one. I can't remember who it was, but somebody mentioned that they just use regular, like, clear coat. I don't have any of that down here. It's up in the garage, but just the regular, like, clear coat, whatever you would use over your other cups before you do epoxy, and then you should be good to go. I think this one had like maybe 2 coats. It just kind of depends on how thick your first coat is. I didn't want to do very thick because I wasn't sure how it was going to work on it. And then the other ones that I've done, I've just kind of followed suit. I did like a thin coat and then I let it cure and then did another, or harden, and then I did another coat on top of it. And it worked really well. So, all right. Sorry for those of you who said I made you go out and spend money. I'm not held responsible for that. All right, happy crafting.